Hello and welcome to Data Management, Module 2, Part 2. In this module we're going to look at some more advanced SQL querying techniques. We'll look at more complex where clauses, matching values using in or excluding values using not in, ordering output, both columns and rows. This will be a relatively short segment. Before we start, let's recall our basic SQL query structure from Part 1. Instead of the share table that we had previously, let's assume that we've got the entire NASDAQ stock list. If this were true, and we were to select star from share where share code equals GOOG, how many rows would we expect for this to return? And the answer should be 1. Again, keep in mind that the share code is our primary key, which means it must be unique, and that means there's only one row or one record in the table with that value for share code. Let's take a look at the second one. Select star from share where share div greater than $5. How many rows would we expect for this to return? Well, we don't know the exact number, but given that there's a large number of shares within the NASDAQ stock list, we could anticipate that this would be a very large number. What about the third one? Select star from share where share div is equal to 497. In this case, it's only going to return some small number of shares that just happen to have a share dividend equal to $4.97. Also, before we get started, just a quick tip on querying. If you want to copy and paste SQL queries from a PowerPoint presentation or from a Word document or from any other source, you should be aware that the type of quotes that are used is important. So sometimes your PowerPoint software, for example, or the software that you're using, may use a different format or different type of single quote. So the one shown on the left is not equal to the one shown on the right. Just to see what happens when you use that, let's take a look at it. So here we've got select star from share where share code equals FC. It looks like a legitimate SQL query, but when you run that query, you get an error message. And if you weren't aware of what's going on with the single quotes, it might be difficult to understand why there's a problem with it. Run it again, this time with the correct type of quotes, and you can see you get the correct response. So keep in mind that those quotes really are important. The type of quotes used is important. Okay, in the past, in Part 1, we saw some simple query clauses, SQL query clauses. So select star from share where, and then some condition like share div is greater than 5. In reality, a where clause can have as many restrictions, stipulations that you wish to include using and or some combination of them. So for example, we've got select star from share where share div greater than 5 and share quantity less than 1 million. This would be a legitimate query in SQL. In addition, we can use in to try and reduce the complexity of our SQL query. So the bottom one we show select star from share where share code equals FC or share code equals AR or share code equals SLG. If you can imagine you have 10 or 12 of these linked out, your query gets quite lengthy and quite complicated. An alternative would be the one shown on the top. Select star from share, and now we've replaced that complicated one with where share code in, and then just list the values that we want included. FC, AR, SLG. Keeping in mind that these have to be included in single quotes since they are from the share code attribute or primary key, which we defined as character, and that's why we need to use the quotes. Similarly, we can use the not in qualifier to identify values which are not in a list. So we want to report all firms other than those with codes CS or PT. Again, option 1 might be to use select star from share where share code not equal to CS and share code not equal to PT. Or we can simplify it by saying select star from share where share code not in CS, PT. Again, what we're doing here is just simplifying what could become a more complex query, especially if the number of values we're trying to exclude gets very large. In terms of ordering output, it's relatively simple. If we want to order columns in a certain way, those are reported in the order that they're specified in the SQL command. So whatever order you put those attributes in or column names in, that's the order they'll be in the result. For rows, we order them using the order by clause. And we'll show some examples of these in a second. So here I've got select share code share firm. And you can see the results is shown share code first, share firm second. If we reverse that, select share firm share code, then our results are going to show the share firm first and the share code second. Relatively straightforward. Same thing with ordering rows. We use the order by qualifier. So we want to list all firms where the price earnings ratio is at least 12. Order the report in descending order by price earnings ratio. So select star from share where share PE greater than or equal to 12. Order by share PE descending. And you can see that the results have the share PE listed in descending order. For ascending, we use ASC. Notice, however, if you just say order by share PE and you don't put a qualifier behind it, the assumption is that you want it in ascending order and it will list them in ascending order. And that's the end of screen capture 2.